Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So in tonight's episode of Should You Summon, we're going to be discussing quite a few different banners. Most of them are Fatefuls, however, there are a couple of goodies for us free-to-play or people who are using free stones as well. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So first up is the Twin Fateful Encounter. Now, for those who don't know, that means you can use 1,000 paid stones and at least 2 pulls, that is the 9th and 10th pull, will be guaranteed as 5 stars. That's not including any chance of you hitting on pulls 1 to 8 as well. So in this case, being that normal Fatefuls only have a guaranteed of 1 5-star, if you're willing to pay 1,000 stones, this is a must pull, no-brainer. You're getting 2 for 1. I mean, all the newest characters are featured on this particular banner as well. Now, obviously, you can get dupes being that no particular unit is higher in ranks than others, but still, 2 for 1, how can you go wrong? Now, in the second Fateful banner, we have the Earth Ringing series, and this features 5 Earth units, so you can see there, 8% chance of each of those guaranteed on the final pull, not including any other pulls on the 1st to 9th. This does use paid stones, so bear that in mind. You have Bertrand, AS Bertrand, Mayumfa, AS Seal, as well as AS Nagy. And of course, here's the rest of the odds. Now, in this case, depending on what you're missing on your team, this may or may not be a must pull for you. And the reason why is that for many of us, we do have Mayumfa, which is the only Earth zone setter in Japan as well as global. If you don't have Mayumfa and you're willing to pay some stones, keep this in mind. Most Fatefuls are, for the feature banner, only have a flat 10% chance of getting the featured unit. So being that Mayumfa herself is featured at 8% and you get 2 tries, not actually the worst in terms of value, especially if you do require Mayumfa or you really want to add her to your team. And that's not including the fact that if you don't have AS Seal, he is broken as an OP Earth character. I mean, AS Nagy's not as good as before, but she is still very, very good, and I've used her many, many times to carry me through on my Earth DPS team. Don't forget, she is also a pain setter, so she helps your DPS team out for Earth as well. Finally, AS Bertrand is not bad, so I would say go for it if you need Mayumfa as well as at least one of the other units. The final Faithful banner we'll talk about is the one for the featured unit, which is AS Bertrand. So, like most Faithful featured units, it features a flat 10% chance of getting AS Bertrand, as well as obviously having access to all the other 5 stars to date. Now, considering that we do have the other Earth Ringing series, where he's already featured at 8%, and his OG form is featured at 8%, I don't see a need to spend 1,000 paid stones on this particular Fateful. And of course, 2 reasons. One, 2% difference on the Earth Ringing versus this one is not much. And if you're only a Dolphin or a Minnow, having the OG form, if you get it on the Earth Ringing series, will actually unlock the ability to farm 5 treatises for AS Bertrand, by which you won't have to spend the 1,000 paid stones here. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that, but I don't feel that you're getting much value with the Earth Ringing series compared to using that one instead of the AS Bertrand featured. Now this one, on the other hand, is an awesome free-to-play as well as for those who spend stones banner. This is called a Brilliant Encounter. So this is very unique. We've never had this before in global. You can pull guaranteed 4.5 on the 10th pull. Now normally, free stone pulls only allow a guarantee of a 4-star, which is not always upgradable to a 5-star powerful unit. In this case, they guarantee at least one 4.5 upgradable unit that can become a 5-star, as well as obviously the normal chances of getting a 5-star unit. So the chance of getting a 5-star unit is probably the same as most free-to-play banners, which is about 1 in every 3 10 pulls. So keep your expectation in check. However, this is a must pull. This is a no-brainer. 10 out of 10 guaranteed. Why would you pass up the option to use 1,000 free stones and guaranteeing at least a 4.5, if not a 5, and hopefully you don't pull a dupe? If you're free to play or you're just a Minnow or Dolphin, you probably are missing quite a few units on your team, so you probably won't have as much chance of hitting a dupe. So anyways, no need to pass on this one at all. Of course, if you have all the units in the game, you can opt not to, but on the other hand, it's basically like a free Fateful, just not a guaranteed 5-star. And if you get a 4.5, that's still 4 additional light or shadow for a team, that has almost everything. Okay, our last banner, which is for free stones as well as paid stones, features AS Bertrand, and this is a split banner with Yifa. So if you missed my video yesterday on the update, AS Bertrand is, an upgraded version of the OG version. Now, the OG version does have a manifest weapon that enhances his tanking abilities, allows him to really take hits as well as kind of track targets to himself. That being said, the AS Bertrand actually has a lot of his 4-star defensive moves, but exchanges some of the 5-star defensive moves into offensive moves. One of his moves allows for a major reduction, like a barrier type move, which I think is 95% reduction on one single attack for your entire team, as well as helps with debuffing so that your rest of your DPS can do a lot more damage. And he actually has a DPS move as well, which is a single target attack, which helps boost his power and speed, so it's stackable. So you can see the odds right there. So in terms of summoning on this one, note that you don't have anyone newer than Thalili and AS4 on this banner. So you won't have access to Mystere in this banner. Now that being said, if you don't already have Yifa, and this is probably one of your better options in order to get Yifa, being that the next chance to get Yifa would only be on the Weapon Zone banner. Keep this in mind though. This has a 0.4 chance of getting a 4.5 and a 0.8% chance of getting a 5-star for Yifa specifically. In terms of the Weapon Zone banner, Yifa I believe will only be 0.55% for the 5-star, and I'm not sure how much the 4-star will be. So technically speaking, if you're aiming for Yifa, which is awesome as a blunt zone setter, one of the only ones in the game for Japan and global, then you should pull on this banner, being that this is actually an upgraded version of the last banner she was featured on, which was with OG Bertrand and her. Now, for those new to the game and wondering why I say Yifa is so good, most zone setters have amazing abilities in that they basically help mitigate damage by putting a zone in. It actually reduces damage from other attack types. As well, she's actually got a guaranteed crit hit that allows all your units to do guaranteed crit damage, and she's got power and int debuff, which helps protect your team and helps boost your team's type attack as well with a boosting move. So she does everything at once and helps enhance the damage on your blunt units. Not only that, but all zone units help boost a bar called another force bar, which is basically a large finishing move type bar which you can use unlimited attacks while activating this particular bar. And zone setters help fill that bar faster than any other type of unit. So in this case, Blunt is this is the only one for Blunt, so if you have a lot of Blunt units, this will make all of them much better. So if you're wondering for myself, I am planning to summon on this banner, and I'll probably upload a video once I get this done, maybe today or tomorrow, depending on how much time I have while grinding through these prologues and the main story. Let me know in the comments below how your summoning luck has been for the Brilliant Encounter, which is obviously a no-brainer, and or the Fatefuls, and see what you get. I'd like to hear all your hopefully great summons, and if you have a sprinkle of salt in there, feel free to share as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.